it's a rear engine, reverse engine car. Now let's meet these people and find out a little bit more about it. Now, what is your name, sir?
George Devitek,
And where are you from?
Hammond, Indiana.
And who are you?
I'm Nancy Devitek from Hammond, Indiana.
Great. And you're the driver, I know.
Yes, my name is Gene Peak, and I'm from Hammond, Indiana also.
All right, now let's find out what are the advantages of this type of a vehicle. We were talking earlier about it, so maybe you could tell me a little bit and then I'll ask the driver.
Well, we believe that the races are won at the first few feet of the track, and this car gets traction immediately, and that's a big advantage for us.
Okay, and from the members of the pit crew, what can you say about this car? What are the advantages or disadvantages?
I think, too, being rear engine, that it starts off, it bites real good. So I think that's the way to go is rear engine.
It'll be interesting to see the differences in the engines, the way they are, because we've never seen them run yet. So I'm excited. I can't wait to see it.
Well, also you were saying to me earlier that you don't have to follow the rules completely when you have this, so you want to elaborate on that.
No, it's not that you don't follow the rules,
That's
but
what you were saying.
you have a little more room for imagination with this type of racing than you do NHRA or IHRA, because it's open class. You can put rear engine, front engine, side engine, whatever you want to do.
Well, I could see that being an advantage to a lot of people. Now, let's take it from the driver's perspective. If you've driven other types of cars that aren't rear engine, reverse engine, let's hear what are the differences.
Well, the difference is this car right here is that you get an immediate response off the line, and it's a whole lot different than a car that's got a front engine car. And the rear engine car, I believe it handles better once you get the chassis set up for the track that you're rear racing.
So you guys have done pretty good in the points, I hear, huh?
Well, we broke last week. That kind of hurt us a little bit, but we're back and ball of fire, and we're going to be tough today.
Well, everybody should use these guys as an example, and let's bring Bill in, and maybe he can find something out about this car.
Yeah, real quick, general details, type of motor, size of motor.
548 cubic inch bow tie Chevy, Rodex heads.
Supercharged.
1471 supercharger, 40% overdriven.
Alcohol.
Alcohol, yes.
How heavy is the car?
2,300 pounds with the driver.
Okay, one of the things that I like about this, and it reminds me a little bit of snowmobile drag racing. Chuck, show the audience the car. We just looked at another car, totally different in concept, totally different in design. One of the nice things about mud drags is this, at least at this level, is this stuff is all relatively new. And because it's relatively new, we don't really quite have it figured out yet how to do it. So we've got a lot of ideas out there running around, and I love to see the technical innovation. These guys are obviously, from what they just said, totally sold on the rear engine design. That doesn't make you right.
No, it doesn't make us right, but I think it's going to make us a winner.
And that's why you did it that way.
That's right.
That's right. Again, remember, always remember, motorsport is all physics. Yes, question?
Now, with other types of race cars, Bill, you tell me what your perspective is with the rear engine. What are the advantages?
Well, rear engine is always the advantage. You've got the weight on the rear wheels. That's always the advantage of having a rear engine car, weight on the rear wheels. However, when these cars stand the front wheels off the track, the front wheels in the air, all the weight is on the rear wheels, regardless of where the engine is. And sometimes the leverage of the front engine can provide great. It is not as easy as it sounds. I have one more quick question because we're running out of time on this piece, and we've got to move on. One more quick question. Sponsors, tell us about them.
Well, we have TNC Automotive out of Hammond. He owns the #1 car when Mike White drives out of Indiana.
That's exactly right. Mike White, we've had him on Motorsports Unlimited before. Great late model driver. We interviewed him and saw him at Raceway Park, and he runs Indiana, and I think won the track championship.
Sure, and then we also have Van Zenes, who does our engines. He does a lot of the engines in the area. And Lake Iron and Metal, and Lee is into like street rods and what have you. So everyone involved is into racing, you know.
Okay, and I've got the one, I'm sorry, you had a...
I said American Welding.
Want to make sure we mention them all. They deserve it. We want to encourage people to participate in motorsport sponsorship, that's for sure. We encourage them by giving them the attention when we get an opportunity to do so. One quick thing, when I walked up to these guys, I asked them who's the baddest of the bad here today, and they said,
We're it.
This is the team, baddest of the bad.
Now that's confidence, and we'll find out in a little while how they make out. First, we want to look at a few more approaches to designing a vehicle for this kind of racing. Let's join Gloria as she looks at something totally different.
Looks like we have another interesting car here. We'll get to meet the owners in a minute. Notice the wheels are a little bit different also. He'll explain to us what the purpose of that is. What's your name, sir?
Dave Meyer,
Where are you from?
Thomasville, Illinois.
And what's your name?
Carla Meyer,
Where are you from?
Thomasville, Illinois.
I don't know, Susan. Looks like she's ready to get in an outfit here. She's all nice and dressed in pink and white also. What do you think?
Yeah, she's all in pink just like us.
Okay, well, let's get to have him tell us a little bit about the car here.
Well, basically, I've got the same thing as everybody else, but I'm trying to do it with 2 wheels instead of 4 wheels. As long as the front end stays down, we'll be all right.
Okay, what's the purpose of the different style wheel here? I see there's like a little groove in the middle there.
That's actually an agricultural tire. It belongs on a tractor. That's for steering purpose only.
Okay, do you know anything about this vehicle, or do you drive it at all?
No.
Not at all?
Nope. It's too fast.
Yes, Susan.
How'd you guys come up with that name, Hog Wild? I love it.
It gets out of hand once in a while, and it's wild.
It sounds pretty fast. Let's bring Bill in. Let's see what he has to say about that.
Well, I got a lot to say. I couldn't hear a thing there. We've got engines running all over the place. The reason we came over here, though, is we're talking about technical difference, and this is what's important. This car also runs the big class, right?
Yeah, I run the open class.
Open class, baddest of the bad, but take a look up here at the front. Notice that the front end is a lot more spindly, and it doesn't have the kind of paddles on the tires or anything like that, and there's no differential in the front, and that means what, Peggy?
There's no what?
No differential in the front.
I don't remember.
Come on, Peggy. We don't have the paddles on the tire. We don't have a differential up here, and that means what?
It's going to just change everything, the structure. I don't know.
Susan, what does that mean?
Maybe because there's more weight in the back.
Gloria, go ahead and tell the two of them.
Better speed or suspension?
12 years of doing Motorsports Unlimited. No, it means that this is a rear-wheel drive only car. Just rear-wheel drive. Only on the rear wheels is driving. The front wheels don't drive. So this guy has a different theory of how to get down that 200 feet of mud. Instead of having four-wheel drives, he makes the car lighter, less mechanical complexity, and when you jump on the throttle at the beginning, the front end goes in the air anyhow, and all the weight is on the rear wheels anyway. She's nodding her head. You agree with him?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you think this is the way to go?
Yeah.
Am I characterizing this halfway right? I'm trying to help the public understand your sport, so help me if I don't have it right.
You got it perfect right there. Carry it on the rear wheels and go.
And this guy, by the way, we've seen him run before, does tremendous. Will you drive it, or you drive it?
Not me.
Because it wasn't your wheel stand then? We saw last year?
No.
That was mine. And it also cost a front end on it, too.
Well, you remember the day?
Yeah, I remember well.
Yeah, it was pretty spectacular. So how do you do against these guys then? Because that's really, one thing about motorsports, it's all talk until you get out there and get it done. How does this work against the guys with the bigger, heavier four-wheel drive units?
On certain tracks, we do all right. They're outpowering me. They got more money than me, better haulers, but I'm still here.
But so you still like your idea?
Yeah, I think that's the way to go.
Well, okay, listen, I want to thank you for spending a little time with us. First of all, I don't know if she got the details. I couldn't hear from out there real quickly. Engine, size, etc.
That's a 468 with blowing alcohol on it.
What brand?
Chevy, of course.
Okay, and you kind of still, you like the idea of the rear-wheel drive only, lighter? Okay, yes, Susan.
Now, does that make you start faster? Does that give you that little
But that's,
boost in the beginning?
wait a minute. That's the question. That's what this is. That's the reason they're going to go out there today. These guys, Chuck, take your camera shot over there. We got the mud buster there. We're talking about, can you do that, Chuck, or did I call for an impossible shot? I'm sorry. The mud buster over there. There we're talking about four-wheel drive, a lot heavier, a lot more powerful vehicle. The question is, what gets the job done better? He's got a different theory. He likes the lighter approach to it, and I've seen this car run. This thing is bullet fast. The question is, I will tell you, the answer to your question will be about 2 years down the line. If all the cars end up like this, or all the cars end up like that. Am I right?
You're correct.
That's what happened.
Now, this may seem like a really dumb question, but what's the difference between the rear-wheel drive and the rear engine as far as weight distribution and all that? I see the engine's in the front here, but you get the big tires in the back, so
Right.
help me out.
Okay, you're kind of, no, I want to help you out. You're talking about apples and oranges. With the placement of the engine has nothing to do. You could have a rear engine car with just two-wheel drive, a rear engine car with four-wheel drive. What he's done is he's made this almost dragster-like fashion, puts the driver over the rear wheels, the engine right in front of him. He could have easily put the engine behind him and himself in front of the engine. You felt that this was the better way to do it.
Use the motor to keep the front end down.
So, and almost like a lever when it's on the rear wheels.
That's correct.
Because I see the big wheels and I see it over there, so there's almost some sort of balance going on here, some sort of a ratio that you guys are thinking through.
If you've ever watched, over the years I watched dragsters develop, obviously because I'm 55 years old, I watched dragsters develop from being very short wheelbase to longer. Now they're 300 inches longer, and when they accelerate off the starting line, yes, they'll pull the front wheel slightly off the ground, but the entire car sort of bends. You can see the whole car bow, and it's actually a lever forcing the rear wheels into the track, and I assume that's kind of what you're doing with it.
Transfer the weight right on the rear wheels and carry it all there.
Carry it all there, so it's a different theory, yes.
So you can do a wheelie with this, huh?
Oh, boy, trust me, boy, does he do a wheelie. Now, I've got one more thing. Wait a minute, we've got a question here. Yes, Peggy.
It's going to be interesting to see the way these vehicles are built and how they take to the track.
Exactly right. I've got one more thing to do. Miss, if you would please come out here, please. Miss, come over here. Don't run away. Don't run away. We're on live tape. Please, Miss, come over here. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, Miss, please. Please. I can't get her to come out, folks. We've got a real pretty girl off camera. I'll try to get her on the next interview. I'll try to get her to drag her out here. We'll see if we can get her to do it. Until then, Peggy, tell the folks.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back. The technical differences in open-class mud drag vehicles is interesting, but so are the people. Let's meet a couple of Chicagoland racers sporting the big four-wheel drive supercharged approach. Two four-wheel drives, and we're going to find out all about them, and we're going to meet the crew. Look at how lovely. I don't know what the difference is here, so let's see if we can talk to everybody and find out. Hi, can I get your name?
Cheryl Cisneros.
And where are you from?
Waukegan.
Nice to meet you. Hi, can I get your name?
Ann Burton from Waukegan.
Okay, and you are?
Jack Frost from Waukegan, Illinois.
And you must be the driver.
I sure am.
Can you tell me about it?
Well, it's a blown Hemi. The motor comes out of an alcohol funny car off the quarter mile, and it's the fastest class there is out here, and this is the fastest track we race at in the whole US of A, and we love it out here.
Where are you at in the points?
Third place right now, I believe.
Now, do you help out? Are you part of the crew, too?
Yes.
Yes?
We bring the pop.
Well, do you have to clean the tires at all?
No.
It sounds like a dirty job to me. Let me go meet the other drivers. Bill will be back to talk to you. Hi, can I get your name?
David Green.
And you're from?
St. Charles.
Hi, can I get your name?
Howard Green from Aurora, Illinois.
Okay, hi, how are you?
Dawn from Waukegan.
And you are?
Mark Green from Waukegan.
You must be the driver.
No, I'm not the driver.
Can I get who's the driver here? Okay. Can you tell me all about it?
Yeah, it's a four-wheel drive mud racer. It's got a blown Chevrolet, 540 cubic inches of motor, about 2,000 horsepower, and we hope to get down the track in about 2.5 seconds today.
Ooh, that's pretty good record. Have you ever beaten that record before? Is that what you're striving for?
That's what I'm hoping to do. I haven't quite gone that fast, but that's what I'm hoping to do today.
Sounds fast to me. Do you get stuck a lot?
No, we don't ever get stuck. Unless we break something, that's the only time we get stuck.
Now, do you run titanium at all?
Yeah, I have all titanium valves in it, all aluminum rods, all the fancy stuff.
Oh, so you have quite a bit.
Oh yeah, it's worth a lot of money.
Now, what do you do in your role here?
Oh, just watch.
Now, do you help out at all?
Yes, we all help.
You know, it takes everybody to get it together to make it work, right? And what do you do?
Oh, I just help out my brother.
Oh, that's your brother?
Yes, it is.
So do you race at all?
No, I wouldn't do it.
I'd love to get in one of these. I don't know how I'd be chomping at the bit to get in. Come on, Bill. See if you can find out some more.
Peggy, are you starting, come on over here, are you starting to understand this any better at all, or do you still need to see some races before you kind of understand the thing? Right here,
I'm
right over
getting
here.
the idea.
Say again?
I'm getting the idea, but I'd like to see them in action to see how they take off, how they get stuck, how they pull, you know, the whole thing.
You really have to see this in order to believe it and to really appreciate it. The one thing I want to point out is I know we've already got, you got the technical details on both vehicles? You got all that already? Okay.
Oh, I just didn't ask where he was in the point.
Okay. We'll come back to all that. Right now I want the audience to take a look. We're not talking about guys from Iowa. We're not talking about guys from Kentucky or something like that doing mud drags. We're talking about, this is pretty metropolitan area guys. You guys are from Waukegan and you guys are all neighbors as I understand. Am I right?
We're related.
Who's related?
No, we're related.
We're neighbors to them.
Well, I'm sorry, but you guys all know each other.
Yes. We also work together, too.
You work together?
We started mud racing the same year. He had a Jeep and I had a Ford, and then he went to a Chevy and I kept the Ford and ran Ford for years. He ran Chevy. He runs a white trailer. I run a black trailer. Everything's opposite.
No.
Okay, questions got to be asked. I'll get to you, Peggy. Questions got to be asked. Who's faster?
Well, I am right now, I hope, today.
Wait a minute. He says he's faster. Let me get down here. I want to give the Mudbuster a chance. Who's the driver here, down here? Who's faster?
Well, he's had a few quicker times than I have, but I was world champion in 1996.
Hey, he says he's world champion. What do you mean? What does this stuff mean here that you're faster?